Hey guys, back for another video. So there was a comic store that used to be like way on one edge of town, and yeah, this is one of the things I found there back then. He had it was a pretty awesome shop. He had like a table of stacks and stacks of old promotional posters going way back, and it was like if you dug through them, you could just take a couple for free. And this is one there. I think the year on this is, let's see here, 1989. And you gotta love a place like that. I don't know if this had been sitting there waiting for me to find it since 1989. This too, this like 4-page, well, even bigger than regular book size pages. Frank Miller, Lone Wolf and Cub poster. These were up in my room for a long ass time, but you know, as you get older, maybe you don't want posters covering your room. Kind of want it to be a place where you can have like more minimal or whatever, not so noisy or anything. This is from 1987. Yeah. So, anyways, the store. I thought it was like closed down because it hadn't been there. I found it was there like 10 years ago. But at work, I ended my shift like on another end of town, and I saw that it was located there now, and I was like, holy crap, it's still around. So I went in there and I got some stuff, dug through a lot. It's pretty huge, it's awesome, and it's like curated. The name of the store is Cover to Cover / The Bookshelf. Shout out, it's a wicked shop. So yeah, let's check out what we got. I started off looking through the indie bins. This is the first time I went there. This was in the summer. And yeah, so this Berni Wrightson Master of the Macabre was only $2. And I'll do that. I'll definitely do that. It has the Jenifer story in it. This was adapted by, was it Dario Argento for the Masters of Horror series? Basically, it's like exactly the same, the movie and the comic. So if you ever get a chance, check it out. And Berni Wrightson adaptation of a Lovecraft short story in here too. The Cool Air. Sorry, it's a little cold. Hectic Planet, the Bummer trilogy. This is all from like the first indie bin. I guess it's just like kind of miscellaneous, that bin, or maybe it's just in. But yeah, Evan Dorkin and Sarah Dyer, is it? His partner? Hellina Scythe. Oh yeah, this is like actually digging, because I've been looking for these. I enjoyed the issue that I like found at another place. So, and these are hard to get here. Apparently they're hard to get across the border because they're really you know, they can be ruled as obscene and stuff. Demon chick stuff. Hellina Scythe number 4. That last one was number 3. So I think I'm putting a set of these together. It's difficult to do so here, but yeah. Rose by Mark Beachum. We saw another of his in a previous video with Siphons. So I guess this is earlier. More smutty kind of stuff too. But pretty nice. You can tell that it's earlier. Oh, this is cool. I didn't even know this existed. Shadow of the Torturer, an adaptation of the book series from the fantasy book series by Gene Wolfe. This would be book 1 of the New Sun. Is that it? Books of the New Sun. A lot of friends have recommended this series to me. I think even like Sam Hyde is recently, and Charles Carroll, they were always recommending this. But yeah, it's one of those things. When I try to start reading the novel, though, I'm like, it's so far out. It's kind of hard to start. Sometimes it can be like that, I think, with fantasy or sci-fi. If it's like really otherworldly, it might be hard to like, you know, get there. But yeah, the art on the cover looked pretty rad, but the interior is a different style. Let's see here. You might finish shoving the food at the rest for me, if you've got a moment. But we're not supposed to. Go ahead. All you have to do is poke the trays through the slots. Poke the books through, too. It's alright. I've brought your food. You're not wearing a mask. Yours is the first human face I've seen here. This is pretty nice. The art and everything is well done. I'm only an apprentice. I won't be masked until next year. I asked for books 2 days ago when I came, but I haven't got them. I have them right here. Oh, wonderful. Are there others? Yes. Drott will open the door later and give them to you. Can't you? It's terrible to see them and not be able to touch them. I'm not even supposed to feed you. You brought them. Weren't you supposed to give them to me? I could only argue weakly. I went to the cell where Drott still labored and returned with his keys. Let's just read this little scene here. Try to fix the light if we can. That light isn't helping like that. I think it's better like that before. Okay, continuing. If this were my suite at the House Absolute, I could offer better comfort. Unfortunately, you never called on me there. What's your name, Master Torturer? Severian. It won't help, Chatelaine. What won't? Making friends with me. I couldn't give you your freedom, and I wouldn't. Not if I had no friend but you in all the world. I didn't think you could, Severian. Then why do you bother to talk to me at all? Who else have I to talk to, Severian? It may be that I will talk to you for a time, and then die. I know that what you're thinking, that if I were back in my suite I would never spare a glance for you, but you're wrong. You won't see me again. Drott will bring you your food. Ask him if he will let you do it. I'll try. Do try. Wait, I'll ask him myself. To whom does he answer? Master Gerlos. I'll tell the other, Drott, that I want to speak to the Master Gerlos. They'll have to do it. The Autarch might release me. They don't know. I'll tell Drott you want to see him. Wait, aren't you going to ask me why I'm here? I know why you're here. To be tortured, eventually, like the others. Looks pretty sick. $2. Was that? And Unholy. Some more demon chick shit here. I gotta just try to fix this light. Un moment, s'il vous plaît. Unholy #1. There's another from Boundless Press. That is hard to get across the border. More like demon and angel chick. Bad girl shit. I was never really into bad girl stuff growing up. I don't know why I'm getting into it so much now. When it's done well. Raulo Caceres, if I'm saying that right. Becoming a fan of his art too. It's pretty odd stuff. He definitely has his own style. Yeah, I'm interested to see it. Better not show that stuff. Okay, here's one that I actually paid like decent money for. This is $12 for Uncanny X-Force #1 by Rick Remender and Jerome Opena. As far as like recent superhero things go, this is one I did enjoy, and I'm looking for. Yeah, the art's pretty awesome. The writing as well. Starring Archangel, Phantom X, Psylocke, Deadpool, and Wolverine. They're all likable characters, and Deadpool is done pretty well in this. He's not the run-of-the-mill Deadpool kind of half-assed, obnoxious kind of writing. I mean, there is like that kind of writing can be good humor, but you know when it's like I don't know. He's actually like good in this. He's like witty, and part of him, like, he is supposed to be kind of obnoxious though, right? But yeah, anyways, it's good. I like the way that all of these characters are written in this. They're all like written pretty awesomely. I think the deal with this is that they're kind of like the Black Ops of the X teams, where they kind of like will kill people and stuff. Like they're just kind of like, yeah, we're gonna kill people. We're gonna like get results that way, off the books and stuff. The Tale of One Bad Rat by Bryan Talbot. I had the first couple issues of this before, but yeah, I had to get it. I really wanted to read it after getting those first couple issues. Unfortunately, he didn't have all the issues, just the first two also. About a homeless girl runaway. And yeah, the art and the writing are both like really spectacular. Very, very heart-wrenching, gut-wrenching stuff too. Like I read this after the first time going to that store, I was reading this on the commute home on mass transit, and I was getting pretty choked up, man. I had to like try, like I have no sympathy for homeless people in this day and age. A lot of people are too self-indulgent or not lack discipline. That's very controversial though. Let's avoid controversy, right? Everybody has problems. It's different how you deal with it, but the things that this poor girl went through and deals with it, and the way that it causes dysfunction for her, that she can't accept love. Also, it's like, man, the way that she's like so haunted and closed off, but she's very like a kind and nice girl too. She's very like sophisticated and thoughtful. Really nice. Bryan Talbot. This is like spectacular. Great storytelling, writing. And it might make you fucking cry, man. So, on another note, Vampire's Kiss. A graphic novel of erotic horror for adults. This is by Blair. Is that from Aerosol? And was the series like Leather and Lace? So this art style I usually wouldn't like be too keen on at all, but the writing is actually, it works fine with the art, but the writing is like pretty cracking, hot, like sharp dialogue, and it moves the story along, and the characterization and everything. It's kind of like a page turner. If is this Aerosol? Let me take a quick look. I think it's something like that. Malibu, okay. Going back to that. But if it's like, I think this kind of thing, shout out the homie Big Elbow, kind of like was putting me onto this stuff. I'll leave a link to that channel in either the description or a pinned comment, because he does presentations very like, we do like the same thing. We don't like bother showing our faces because we rather show this stuff. And yeah, he has good taste also. Very good taste. Similar taste, overlap. So yeah, good dude, friend of the channel. This was, again, like those free promotional things. I just didn't even have time to look through. I just wanted to, like, you know, I had already worked overtime. So this is I guess this is a promo for the movie, right? But it's reprinting a classic, I suppose, French comic of the original. Valerian. Okay, so that was the first time I went there, and I expressed how excited I was to find that shop again, and told him about some of the things I'd found there in the past that were like formative to me growing up. And he seemed happy about that, and he gave me a deal on this stuff. Basically, it like was lower than if there was no tax, like just about. I forget how that is. What is it, like minus 10% or something it works out? Must have been something like that. So that was pretty sweet too. But I was like, do you have any other sales ever? Because I know I'm going to buy like tons of stuff next time I'm back here. I'm going to bring a wish list next time. And he's like, I don't really know or like advertise it ahead of time or anything. It seemed like he maybe just decided that there was a sale that day, or maybe it was like just for that transaction. But yeah, I went back there with my wish list just the other day, and that's the big stack coming up. Let's go. Americomics special number 1. Oh yeah. So when I got there, I'm like, yeah, I got my wish list. It has all this and that. But first, I'm like, first things first, check the indie bins. And I counted. There's like 5 tables set up to hold long boxes of comics on each side, and on each side of each table, there's room for 10 long boxes. So there are 50 long boxes of just indie comics, and that doesn't include Image, Dark Horse, Valiant. I don't even think it includes Pacific or Epic, really, or what's the other, that kind of thing. So everything's like off the beaten path, and I was like pretty overwhelmed. So, but anyways, Americomics Special Number 1, Sentinels of Justice. This is spoken of as almost a precursor to the Watchmen, because it is the original Ditko characters. Blue Beetle, of course, influence for Night Owl, right? Captain Atom, influence for Dr. Manhattan. This is as I understand it. Nightshade, what was her name again? Silk Spectre. Question, of course, Rorschach. Question Man, voiced by the great Jeffrey Combs. But yeah, this comic nowadays, because it was even featured on Cartoonist Kayfabe channel, and people are pricing it even like $20-$40 and stuff, but this there was $1.50, so I was pretty stoked to find that, because I have been kind of coveting this, interested in reading it. Amy Racecar, and this is David Lapham, character from the Straight Bullets series. I don't know if this is like something totally different from the crime comics, though, because look at that. Maybe it's some kind of fantasy sci-fi. Creepy number 1. This is from like the 90s or something. So it's not the Dark Horse Brereton cover. Aircell, again. Cyberlust, the first computer-generated erotic comic. Okay, $1. Adults Only Doll number 2. So I flipped through this on the bus. Try not to let anybody see. But yeah, I guess she's made to be like a real woman by like a master doll maker. So she seems super realistic, but she can't walk or talk. But everybody that sees her is like trying to fuck her immediately as soon as they see her. And yeah, they usually do. They're all just like trying to get her, boys and girls. It's very titillating, isn't it? Very erotic. Yeah, this, you can always flip these if they're not worth keeping, but the art is well done. And yeah, it's pretty like raunchy stuff. Max Brooks' Extinction Parade, illustrated again by Raulo Caceres. It's a wraparound cover. As far as I know, or can remember, there are vampires that are taking advantage of a zombie, plague. What would you call it? When everybody in the world is like becoming zombies. And they're like, all right, cool, we don't have to like hide ourselves too much anymore. We can kind of use the chaos to camouflage our actions and whatnot. Girl Talk, number 1. This is an anthology series of indie woman comic creators and makers. I had this when I was a kid, and I remember it was like it's like so indie. All the styles and writing are all different from each other. And yeah, I'll check this out again. Gunhoney. Getting a lot of like stuff with chicks lately, huh? But yeah, there's another fun series. Pardon me. When I first saw this series being advertised, I thought it was like, something for marks. It's like, yeah, guns and chicks, right? Like when like say Pulp Fiction came out in like 95 or whatever it was, and people are always trying to ape on that and exploit that kind of thing. And it's like, yeah, just put things together and then people will fall prey to it or whatever. But this is actually one of the more entertaining action, or say like kind of spy stuff or crime things that I've read in a long time. I haven't read all of these. I've only read like 1 or 2 issues of Heat Seeker. I think that's the latest series. And I've heard it said that that's actually like the weakest of the 3 series as yet. But yeah. So this is, I think, the 3rd printing Adam Hughes cover. This is this Art Germ? 2nd printing of Blood for Blood #1. I'm trying to, I'm so bad at, knowing all these. It's like Derek Chu or something like that. Sketch incentive copy of Gun Honey Blood for Blood #2. Heatseeker #2. What's this fella's name? In-Hyuk Lee? Is that how you would say it? I think this is FOB cover, where there's no title. I'm not good at knowing variants, but yeah, this art's sick. And I'm not super into variants. I'm basically, I'll just get the one that looks the nicest to me, because I want to read the interior also. This is Gun Honey Heatseeker #3. Who is this again? Oh yeah, Leslie Lee? I think it's something like that. Forgive me, I'm not that familiar with all these artists. Other than FOB also cover. Is that what they're called? Anywho. H.P. Lovecraft, Master of Horror #1. The Lurking Fear. These adventure comics, I've read and come across a lot of Lovecraft adaptation comics throughout my years of being into this stuff. And these are, I think, among the best, the most well done, and not too verbose, or taking liberties, or having crappy art, or anything. They're kind of perfectly done adaptations, where they don't even I don't even think they have narration, really. Everything is kind of told through stories and dialogue, for the most part, which is what you want. I kind of hate when comics have too much narration, but these are good, man. I think they were also printed in black and white, maybe from another publisher. Maybe it was Caliber. Yeah, sorry about not knowing that offhand. It's kind of scraping the Mind Palace a little bit for this information. This is again H.P. Lovecraft, Master of Horror #1, but a special limited edition cover. Sure. Jonathan Bolton, Halls of Horror #2. I'm not sure about this, because this falls victim to the thing that I had a issue with too many words, man. Jeez. But it's John Bolton. So I'll check it out. Killer, Tales by Timothy Truman. You just gotta love that cover from the era when he was designing toys for 1980s Dungeons and Dragons. Just wicked looking shit like that. Lady Justice #10. I actually, I found some of these in bargain bins, and I was never interested in techno.com, but they're fun to read. Yeah, they're pulpy, and yeah, they're fun to read, all the ones I've read so far. Melting Pot, Book 1 by Eastman and Talbot and Bisley. Hell yeah, bro. Gotta look at this a little bit here. It's Eric Talbot. I was getting him mixed up with Bryan Talbot before, but Eastman and Talbot. Mwah. Just look through just for a couple seconds. Yeah. Nancy in Hell, #1. Yeah, this takes place in hell too, from the first few pages. It's not Juan Jose Rip or the other artist that I liked from other Nancy in Hell, but after that other, I was I'm just gonna try to find as many of these as I can. The writing's pretty fun on this, from the first couple pages I read. Yeah, so much Batgirl stuff. What the hell's wrong with me lately? Nyx, number 2. The Spider-Man 300 cover, or tribute cover. But, yeah, this is also fun to read. Christos Gage, that rather, the writer, but the art also is, like, awesome. So there's another that I'm kind of always looking for lately, but not able to find, but just piecing together. Final verdict will be in after getting all of them, reading them all together, right? Next, number 4, the Raphael number 1 tribute cover variant. The Ravening, issue 1/2. I guess when I get on a theme, I just like keep going with it. All this Batgirl stuff. Red Sonja in 3D. So I've heard, especially on Cartoons Kayfabe, that Blackthorn Publishing is notorious for like having bad printing quality, but this looks pretty good. Let's see, where was this artist is Edgar Martiareno. Sometimes I'm too lazy to try and pronounce stuff properly, man. But yeah, I'll say something, man. The thing about these 3D books, they're all in like different kind of tint from each other. So one pair of 3D glasses won't work for all of them. Yeah, they're like the red and the blue are actually like different from every book you get, just about. Maybe if it's the same like printer, publisher, or whatever, it'll be the same, but I have like a pretty decent like amount of 3D comics now, and you gotta like, if you ever just see 3D glasses cheap, just get them, because they might be like the ones that work for like something that if something's missing in the 3D glasses, you might kind of be like a little bit screwed. But you can make it work. So it might not just like look as good, but a lot of the time there is a difference, man. Rock and Roll Comics, number whatever. This is a reprint of an older Runaways bio, and Joan Jett and Lita Ford. I think I have the original, so I don't know if I necessarily should keep this or need to or give it away. Runaway is pretty good. Maybe it's like more fun when you're young, but they have like good, awesome songs that are good for like, you know, when you're growing up. Listen to them a bunch. Cherry Bomb, School Days, Waiting for the Night, Lovers, Black Leather, Wait for Me. Yeah, Lita Ford, Sherry Curie. But yeah, Renfield, number 2 from Caliber Press. I remember growing up hearing this was good. It's about the slave to Dracula, basically. The guy that, I think Dracula like kind of has him almost being a vampire, but he's just like kind of half turned, so he's just all messed up. Just a slave for Dracula. Zombie Tramp, number 23. Whenever I've seen this advertised, I'm like, that looks like it might be interesting, the art. But it's another thing where it's like, oh, maybe it's just something for marks. Like, you know, with like kind of hot zombie trend stuff and like hot girls. But might be alright. So I'll finally like give it a read or something. Frank Quitely cover, Bite Club, number 1. Yeah, I enjoyed reading these too. So kind of looking for these. Howard Chaykin, the writer of a society where vampires are kind of known about and integrated into society. And there's like police and mafia and shit. Continue. Yeah, just filling in the holes of that Lone Wolf and Cub collection. I'd purged it when I was like, you know, in like 2001 or something. You know, when movies like Fight Club and shit were coming out, or like reading books about, what is it, Spook Country? It's like that guy who like has no belongings or anything, and you kind of want to be Spartan. And I've like purged my collection back then, so a lot of the things that I really love, I'm like trying to get them back. This is a classic issue of Lone Wolf and Cub, the Kill the Buddha issue. When you meet the Buddha, kill the Buddha. I think it's called, I forget what the actual like title of it's called, but man, back then you could get these for like actual cover price places. I guess those days are gone though. It's totally worth it though. These are spectacular. Uncanny X-Force number 3, or that Remender and Jerome Opena. Number 4, I guess this is some sort of key, but yeah, just missing this to have like the first 15 or so. After that, I hit up the sets. There's like a bunch of sets for like cheap. It's pretty awesome. So G.I. Joe 63 to 65. I think this was mentioned on some forums or polls of like some of the greatest G.I. Joe comics. Jonah Hex, Riders of the Worm, a set of 1 to 5. Comic Crack, another great channel on YouTube. I think he mentioned that he had found some of these for me and was going to get them to me. I'm going to leave a link to that guy's channel too, because he's awesome as well. But yeah, I'll still get them off you if they're these ones, because this to me is the best Jonah Hex story that I've read. I definitely haven't read all of them though. I've read some from like the Marvel years. I think I've read all the the Jorah Lansdale ones and stuff, like the Palmiotti Cassetta, a bunch of weird Western tales. I think that's about it, but this kicks ass, and yeah, if I end up having a second set of these, I'll give them to my buddy Django, probably. Maybe I shouldn't have said that in case he watches this, but Django, this series is like, he's like you, dude. He'll just like say stuff that'll piss people off so much. It's just being a smart ass motherfucker everywhere, but it's like, it's always like saying stuff that you can't like quite kill him for. Like they wouldn't be just to kill him, but they like really want to. Just because it's like the way he jokes around and stuff, just he pisses people off everywhere. He's just fucking like roasting everybody everywhere he goes. But yeah, this rules, dude. Paranormal Western. And it's funny. It makes me laugh out loud. And it's fun and scary and yeah, action and everything. It's fantastic. Full set of that. I've been looking to piece these together for like maybe a year or two. So I'll take a set, even if it's ends up being a second one or whatever. Legend of Kamui, number 5 to 7. This works out to be about 50 cents each. Another fun series. Number 6 to 10 is about 40 cents each. Savage Dragon, number 3 to 7, $1 each. The Shadow by William Kaluta and I forget the last name. Goss. Come on, focus. Let's see what we can do here, if we can help it. Let's showcase a little bit of shadow art here. William Kaluta. It's just beautiful, man. His line work just fucking rolls. I guess it's a movie adaptation. I've never seen the movie. You call yourself a salesman, you son of a bitch? It takes brass balls. A, always B, B, C, closing. But yeah, I've never seen The Shadow. Yeah, that's set of 1 to 2. Another Shadow series. This is Kaluta, Goss, and Gary Gianni, who's a favorite. He's influenced, I think, by a lot of the old 1800s or 1900s artists like, what's the name? Samuel Clement Cole and some other dudes like that. I forgot some other names, but a favorite for sure. So collabing of Kaluta and Gianni is like, hell yeah, dude. This one has a notable poster in it too. Okay, here, yeah, Jeff Darrow poster. Let's look in here a little more. Some Gary Gianni. He had the backup stories in like early Hellboy, the Monster Man. I really like his stuff. Yeah, this was also hard for me to piece together for a long time, so I'll get like a second or third set if it does come up easily like that. Seems like they're waiting there just for me, because there wasn't like a large section of the sets. I want to say it was maybe about 5 long boxes, and some of the sets are very big, so it's like a lot of these suit my taste and not many other people else's if they're still sitting there after all this time. Shatter number 1 to 4 plus special number 1 is 50 cents each also, isn't it? Yeah, this is fun cyberpunk pulp to read, man. If you grew up reading like William Gibson or stuff like that like 80s sci-fi, yeah, fun. A set of Sisterhood of Steel. There's another one waiting there just for me, 50 cents each, and they're all in really good condition too. Moving on to the used trade paperback section. Heartbreakers by Paul Guinan and Anina Bennett. Moment. Yeah, I remember seeing this in like Dark Horse Presents. Oh yeah, Alex Ross painting to start. I think there are like clones of her, and there are soldiers also in space. But the art's good, yeah. And I remember liking the writing too. I think somebody else gets the cloning technology and makes a bunch of slaves of her. And yeah, story ensues. Yeah, that second trip, you know, I saw this the first time and I was like, Bryan Talbot, I wonder how good that stuff is. And yeah, the second time I was like, yeah, I'll definitely get this. Yeah, this looks awesome, but it's really thick too, so I haven't read it yet, but looking forward to it. I think this is gonna like take me a minute to get through, but it's gonna be pretty much something special. And Rose by Charles Vess and Jeff Smith. Jeff Smith, the writer of Bone. Anything that Charles Vess does, basically, I'll check out. Oh, sorry, sorry to do this. So this will be interesting. Is Rose a character from Bone, or maybe I'm thinking Thorn? I've never read Bone, but I know it's highly recommended. Anyways, yeah, I'll just Charles Vess is enough to get me on board, just himself. And that's about it. And there's a free comic section still there. Oh yeah, those stacks of posters. Now they're like floor to ceiling, man. It was hubris of me to think like, I was like, I'm gonna get through the indie section on this next trip and then like get through a bunch of other stuff. I only got through like what to like about the H's or something today or last time I was there. Beyond looking for like specifics bins. So yeah, so he has like the free comics and like I think there's a lot of stuff from previous free comic book days, which is cool because a lot of people after free comic book day, they like take them out, set them aside because they can accumulate in value, but these are still there. And I think it's like every time you're there, every time you visit, you're allowed to get one. So yeah, just quickly, this is one I grabbed. Anything else? Thanks for watching. More videos, tons more videos to come. Have a lot more stuff to get through. So if you feel like commenting, please do so, because I love hearing from you guys. It's fun to chat and stuff. And yeah, links to Comic Rack and Big Elbow, some friends there, rad channels, so check those out too. Alright, peace. I'll see you in the next one. Try to make it real fast too.